Hi. It's Saturday today, the morning after Good Friday. Service last night was good. Today I guess I just wanted to talk about worry, something I do a lot of. Worried about something later today that I have to do. I won't go into detail because it's kind of personal, but worried about something I gotta do later today. And I guess I just kind of want to talk about that. Not smoking anything today because I'm seeing my girlfriend tonight and she doesn't like the smell of smoke, so can't smoke anything today. But that's okay. I have coffee here because it's the morning, so. In my Halloween mug because I love Halloween, even though it's spring. So I guess I just wanted to talk about worry. Like I said, it's something that I struggle with. It's probably my biggest struggle. I struggle with not worrying a lot. I worry about everything. I worry about everything. And on a day like today where I have to do something that I don't really want to do or that I'm stressed about or worried about, it's hard. It's hard to trust God. It's hard to put it into His hands. I can pray about it, and I probably don't pray about it enough, but you pray about it and ask Him to take the worry from me. There's a plane above me. Little passenger plane. Anyway, I can ask Him to take the worry from me and to put it into His hands, because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is going to happen. You can't do anything to change it. Well, there's some stuff you can affect or change in your life, but that's not the stuff I worry about. I worry about the stuff that I can't change. So in my case anyway, I can't change or affect anything that I'm worried about. So you think logically, what's the point of worrying? But it's still hard, So I guess I should put it in God's hands more. And because again, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. I'm not saying it's gonna be fine, because sometimes it's not fine, but that's okay, because through the not fine stuff is where you do the most development, the most growth. God uses the not fine stuff to shape you, I guess. Even if you don't believe in God, still the not fine stuff still shapes you as a person. The good times don't shape you, it's the hard times that do. So why worry? That's what I kind of try to talk to myself about, try to tell myself, like, why worry? Because the hard stuff is what's made me who I am. I wouldn't go back and change any of the hard stuff that's happened to me. All the stuff that's happened to me in the past that was hard and at the time I hated, I look back and I wouldn't change any of it because it made me who I am today. Even the worst times of my life, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't want to go back to it because I've had some dark times, but I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't wish that never happened, because I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't get to experience all the wonderful, beautiful things I get to experience today as the person I am without those hard times. So, it's easy to say it's pointless to worry. You can't change anything. Why are you worrying? Blah, blah, blah. That's very easy to say, but it's hard to internalize. So I guess maybe I'm just making this video to externalize it and kind of reaffirm it, put it out into the world. That way it kind of is not just in my own head. Maybe it's easier for me if it's out there, if it's not just me talking to myself. If I put it out there, even if no one sees it, at least it's out there. But I guess that's the bottom line, is you can't change a lot of things. That's what Stoicism is about, I guess, kind of in a way. Why worry about what you can't change? And that's easier said than done, of course. And I'm not a Stoic by any means. I feel and worry about a lot of things. So, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted to talk about it to, like I said, externalize it, tell myself not to worry. I'm sure I'll look at this in the future and I'll know what I was worried about today. And either it'll go fine or it won't. I don't know. Either way, I'll look back on it and I won't want to change it. Whatever happens today is going to happen, and I'm going to look back on it and it's not going to be a big deal, or it's not going to be, maybe it will be a big deal, but it'll still be the way it was meant to be. It'll still be part of God's plan. That's a thing I try to tell myself more often recently is, God's will be done, or thy will be done if I'm praying, because, at the end of the day, this is all part of God's plan and it's God's will, not mine. I'm just a person, just a human being. God has got it under control. And like I said, in my past, all the hardships and all the hard times have led to who I am now. And in the future, during the happy times, I'm going to look back and I'm not going to want to change any of it because it made me who I am. So, I just got to keep that in mind. And I guess I know that logically. I guess the hardest part is just keeping it in mind. Maybe that's the part I struggle with. Maybe the part I struggle with is keeping it in my head, especially like today when I go and do the stuff I got to do that's got me worried. It's especially for me, it's always hardest leading up to it, worrying about it leading up to it. Once I'm always in whatever situation I'm worried about, it's not too bad. And humans adapt and overcome. That's what humans do. So when you're in that situation, you adapt and you overcome, and it's not too big a deal. Hey, look, there's a little ant. It's the first ant I've seen all year. Yesterday I saw the first bee, and now I've seen ants, and wow, spring is here. Anyway, sorry, where was I? Humans adapt and overcome. So yeah, once you're in the situation, you adapt and you overcome. It might be hard and it might be difficult, but it's not worth worrying about it beforehand, because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, and you're going to adapt and you're going to overcome. But that's just the hardest thing to keep in mind beforehand, as someone who worries a lot like I do, or has anxiety, or whatever words you want to use. As someone who's like me, and anyone who's like me can understand exactly what I'm talking about, that leading up to it, the anticipation is always the hardest part. But I'll get through it. So will you. If anybody's watching this, whatever you're going through, you will get through. You will get through it. I can promise you that. You will adapt and you will overcome. Anything you're worried about in the future, when it's here, it might be hard. I'm not saying it's not going to be hard, because it might be, but that's not bad. Hard is not bad. That's something that a lot of people kind of confuse, I think, is difficult things are not bad. Difficult things make us who we are. So if you have a difficult thing that you are going to experience, that's going to shape you and make you who you are. It might be difficult, but in the end, in the long run, it can be a good thing. So if you have anything you're worried about, just trust in God, I suppose, is my biggest piece of advice. His plan, he has a plan and it's perfect. But other than that, just kind of remind yourself that even if it is difficult, it's for a reason. It's worth it. I guess that's my biggest piece of advice. I'm speaking to myself and to others here, mainly to myself, because I need to hear this, especially in those times where I'm at my darkest. I need to just face it, and face it like a man, so to speak, or just not just a man, like a person. Just face it. Just gotta tough it out, and it'll make you who you are. You can't run from it. I think that's something I struggle with. I run from my worry, try to cover it up with all sorts of things. With, I won't go into what I try to cover it up with, but people have different things they try to cover it up with, whether it be like drugs or alcohol, or it could be anything. I mean, you could try to cover it up with anything. Video games, I mean, you could try to cover it up with anything, and try to distract yourself. And distractions are good sometimes, but for me personally, it's to an unhealthy degree, because I just don't like feeling that worry. I don't like feeling that stress. But a healthier way of handling it is reminding yourself that it's going to be okay, and that even if it's hard, it's worth it, and thinking about all the hard things in the past that have shaped who you are, and just remembering that every day brings you closer to who you're meant to be, and it's all okay, and it's all going to be all right. You're going to get through it. You're going to come home from whatever you're doing. You're going to get into your bed that night, and it's going to be over, and you will have done it. It might have been easy, it might have been hard. Either way, it'll be over, and you're gonna lay there and you're gonna think to yourself, I did it, it's over, on to the next day. And you take it day by day, and you shape who you are. So that's my thoughts for the day. I'll see you when I upload next.